There we go. All right.
And yes, I'm eating popcorn. I'm
Live
being
on
rude.
YouTube. That's okay. We talk about movies on here. That's okay.
Okay, so then it's appropriate. Okay, then.
That's right. It's fitting.
What's the
All right.
brand? Now that we're a sold out entity, we should get sponsorship. Jane's eating Orville Redenbacher, the official popcorn of Let's Talk Jaws Live.
Jaws Live. She does not watch any of the favorite movies from Universal without eating Redenbacher. Extra butter for me, please.
It looks like we are showing up here, guys. Let me take that down. So the question is, does that mean that we're made, or is it like gang? Like you got to get jumped in? Like how does it?
I don't know, man. Whatever way I need to do it, I guess,
It's all about interpretation,
For your next party and movie selection for the next 50 years of Jaws, try this.
I know somebody Martin's going to want to jump in on the Vineyard.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. We're all going to jail that weekend.
I've already been warned. I've already been warned by Jen. She said, you better. I said, I've been there. It's really nice. It's right on the outskirts of town. It looks like all the other house. It's got white shaker siding and green shutters.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, man.
Happy Friday Eve, guys. And it's the first day of spring.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. It is the first day of spring. Yes. Yeah, it's gorgeous here. We had 73 degrees yesterday. Not so much today, but yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah, same with me.
It went from 70 on Tuesday to 20 yesterday.
Oh.
And now it's getting warm again.
Yeah, same with us.
Very nice. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us tonight. Hopefully you guys saw my post. We have a little bit of a change up tonight, which I want to apologize for. That's on me, but it's a good change. It's a good change. It's okay. I got broad shoulders. I'm all right with that. We were going to be talking specifically about details pertaining to Jaws 50 events that as of right now are up and running and official. We are not. We're going to, I don't want to say postpone. We're going to wait till next week because we're going to have some people from Martha's Vineyard actually joining us next week. And what better authority or I guess representation or knowledge to have than have someone actually there from the museum, from the island to answer questions. So they're going to be joining us next week. So that part of the show, that's going to happen. Still going to happen next week. I know there's been an awful lot of questions. A lot of people, what about this? And what about this? There's a lot of things popping up. I mean, every time I turn around, I'm seeing something either in the works or popping up and going there. People are a little bit kind of, for lack of a better term, maybe getting confused or whatever. It's all right. We're going to try and narrow that down, or maybe try and put things in a nice cohesive order for you guys as far as what to do, where to go. Try and maybe put some links together we can post that you guys could use. But give us another week on that one, okay?
Yeah, and whatever we can kind of put on there for you guys, and you guys can make your own agendas of what you would like to do, and that's what we're here to help you kind of do that, along with the ladies from the museum. So it's all still building up. It's all still coming together. So it's supposed to be a good time. Yeah,
3 months from today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
I got to be on my best behavior that day.
That day, just for that day, though.
That's right.
You can bookend it however you want beyond that. But
come June 20th, it's all done and over with. Sorry, guys.
We'll each have a day we have to be good, and the rest of the time, someone's like the designated driver. Someone's got to be the designated adult.
Exactly, and I'm going to make my dad proud that I'm going to behave on that day for you, Mike. Okay, so.
I was going to say.
Well, but then there's people like Jeffrey Kramer that we've had on the show, or Jeffrey Voorhees. They'll look at me and go, "That's not her. That's not how she acts. Yeah. That's not Janie."
Like body snatchers will go, "Oh, what have you done with her? What have you done with her?"
You remember about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, there was it was called the morning after pictures. It was like the fallout the next morning from like these obnoxious like college parties and stuff. And you'd be like, picture of like someone's front lawn or someone's house, and there's some dude passed out face down on the sofa, and he's like decorated and stuff. And there's like
all of a sudden, I'm just going to be on the
Oh,
lawn of the Martha's Vineyard Museum, like long duck dong,
just like fallout. There's like peanut butter and jelly down the walls, and I mean furniture's like bonfires and.
You can do it.
I promise we will behave. I promise.
Yes, we act like adults. Mostly.
This is what an island jail looks like.
Seinfeld, I'm telling you.
Hopefully it's Oak Bluffs if we get arrested, because then Jonathan Searle had to arrest us.
Well, at least we'll have someone to talk to about something on the way over to the jail in Edgartown, isn't that right?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, dear God.
All of a sudden, I'll hear you. Well, Janie, you said you wanted a new picture for the page. Here you go. We're all right there, Jonathan.
That's right. Live. Let's talk Jaws live. Now live at the Edgartown jail. Little venue change, yeah.
It'll be good.
All right, we got a couple people. Hey, Vic, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Vic, how you doing?
Robert, hello. And over on Facebook page, we got Frankie. Frankie joining us. Hello, Frankie.
Jamie and Mark as well. So
nice, very nice. Good to see you guys. Glad you guys are here with us. Awesome. Yeah. So so tonight what we're going to be doing is honestly we're going to be talking about traveling to the vineyard while you're on the vineyard, coming home from the vineyard. There's been a lot of questions about that. People that either maybe haven't been there or haven't been there for any maybe length of time, or maybe you're looking at doing things a little different. So honestly, that's going to be kind of what we're going to be showcasing tonight. I have a bunch of resources here I do want to share with you guys too. And what I'll do then is later, either tonight or perhaps at the latest tomorrow, I'll get some of those resources as far as links to you guys posted up. So that way people, I'm really trying to kind of take on the standpoint of just putting information out there for people they can get their hands on, because you guys know it can be a deep dive sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely.
Certainly.
And but I want to start off. We've had a couple birthday boys this past week.
Oh yes, we did, didn't we?
3 in particular. 3 people that are that definitely have all seen around these pages, and one of which I've met in person. I know you guys have met more than one in person, but we had Bill Van Ripper from over at the museum. It was his birthday this week. Michael Hayden, right there in the center. He's been on the show a couple times. Still living on the island, by the way. Still a musician.
And then of course,
oh yeah, and then of course Carl Gottlieb.
Yay.
The one, Carl Gottlieb. Yeah, yes, and still one of my favorite interviews of the shows that we had done, or I should say that we have done, that I have watched. Some of his responses were just, I mean, yeah, I still laugh out loud at him. Yeah, hilarious. On top of being just a great guy to talk to. So
yes,
very cool.
Yep,
very cool.
Birthday.
Yes, happy birthday to you guys. Glad you were. Hopefully you guys are having a good time celebrating, or at least having a little bit of downtime, relaxing a little bit. So very cool.
Enjoy the day. Seize the day.
That's exactly right. And speaking of Martha's Vineyard travel, I have something that I came across. I came across this a couple of months ago, and I was waiting for the right time to use it. And, we were talking, kind of making some jokes about when we're on the island this summer. I have found the perfect transportation on or to the island and around the island for us. I mean, perfect. Like, you couldn't have done this better unless it came out of like a Smokey and the Bandit movie.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I'm terrified. Okay.
Well, what would be the perfect transportation on the island?
One of the llamas. One of the alpacas.
I don't know about you, but I've seen those llamas and alpacas, and if I got to get on one of them, it's going to be a rough day for one of those things, because they're not that big.
No, they're not that big. I don't know.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is outfitted as a shark.
I got you one better. It doesn't say Jaws, but it screams 1975. Are you ready for this? Here we go. If I could wrap up let's see, the 1970s. If I could wrap up Jaws, if I could wrap up Smokey and the Bandit, Dukes of Hazzard, you name it, all into one. This is what we will be traveling in right here.
Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
When have you ever seen the aesthetics of a 70s muscle car wrapped into a speedboat? Am I right? Look at this.
God.
This thing has T-tops from a bird in it, for God's sake. Look at it. Look at this thing.
It's missing the Firebird on the on the front.
No, it's missing a guy with a hairpiece and a porn stash. That's what it's missing. I mean, look at that thing, guys. I mean, come on.
I'd be proud to ride in that. Or just sunbathe on the back deck there.
The copper root beer brown metallic paint, with the big heavy metal flake and the tan and T-tops. I mean, T-tops. Come on.
Where did you find this?
I stumbled across this months ago. It's been sitting in a folder. I'm like, this is going to have relevancy somewhere. Don't ask me.
Absolutely. We're showing up to the show on this sucker.
There's the side. Look at that.
Oh my God.
If you could take a late 70s Firebird or an early 80s Fiero and make it into a speedboat, this would be that boat. Am I right?
Oh my God, that's it.
I mean,
that deserves to be in a movie in a boat chase. It does.
That's like a James Bond movie boat.
Yes.
That's like if Burt Reynolds played James Bond. This is what he'd be driving in.
Gator. Didn't he drive a speedboat? Gator. Yeah.
He did. You're right.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
He did. Yeah. Sorry to go off topic with that, but I saw that. I thought, God, that's 1970s, like to the hilt. You can't get any more 70s than that.
He'll have that, and then Snowman Jerry Reed will come up in the Steamship Authority boat. So there you go.
Today's Jerry Reed's birthday. Nice segue.
Is it?
Is it Jerry Reed's birthday?
I love Jerry
Mike's
Reed.
back too there. Very nice, Mike. Very nice.
Yeah. He's down and down.
Robert saying, Leah,
live and let die.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, sorry. Unfortunately, I have a bad habit of segueing in the wrong direction.
Are you kidding? Listen, this is going to be a fun evening regardless of what we're doing.
There I go already. So traveling to the Vineyard. Let's get back on top here. Back us up a little bit. So traveling to Martha's Vineyard. So the biggest thing you've got to know before you do anything is you got to know how you're going to be getting there and where you're going to be coming from as far as getting there. And obviously it's an island, so you got to do one thing. You're going to fly or you're going to take the ferry.
Correct.
People do fly. A lot of people that I know, myself included, end up taking the ferry. But you have a lot of options. So again, I'm going to be pulling up some websites. This is one of them. So there's a couple websites that are going to be integral. In other words, it's just not a company website, but representative of everything. And so I'm going to bring one up right now. And this is all the ferry companies that run ferries to the island. And there are many different spots you can go from. It all comes down to how far you want to travel by boat. And it comes down to whether or not you're going to be taking a car. So let me pull that guy up right here for us. So here we go. So
we're not doing that.
Off of there. Sorry. That is not the ferry to the island.
I would still take that. I would still take that over Cape Scare. So yeah.
Let me try that one again. Sorry about that, guys. The wrong thing there. Share screen. All right, back over. Share. All right, you're gonna work this time. There we go. Okay. So here we go, guys. So when you're getting to the island, you do have a lot of options. You can go as far south as so there's New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and various parts of Massachusetts, as far as up as the Cape. You can take a ferry from Provincetown, which is the very edge of the Cape. It comes down to how much time you're going to be on the boat. And if you look here, it actually gives you running time that you're on the boat. And you can see it's as high as, 6 hours and 45 minutes if you're going from New Jersey or parts of New York. Down to Woods Hole, which is the closest one, and that's generally 45 minutes to an hour. Prices also vary based on those things, and you can just look here. You can see the difference in price too. But some of these ferries, like your Sea Streak and stuff like that, those are going to be your fast ferries. So they're going to be running a little bit faster. So I would assume that has a bit to do with price increase. But if you're looking to take a car, you only have one option, and that's going out of Woods Hole. That's the only option you're going to have. And if you're taking a car, if you don't already have a ferry ticket for going there, I'll be honest with you, you need to do that immediately, pronto, because they fill up and have already been filling up since they opened, what was it, end of January, beginning of February?
About that.
Yeah. So very crucial if you're taking a car that's what you do. I've only ever traveled from Woods Hole. Have you guys ever traveled from anywhere else?
No, just Woods Hole. Yeah.
That's all I've done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will always tell you need to get there. They want you there about 45 minutes to an hour prior. And I'll let you in a little secret. If you get there early, even a little bit earlier, and the lines aren't crazy, or if there's any extra room on the boat, if you say, hey, I'm here for this time, because I get you and they line you up in these staging areas and say, can I go earlier? If there's room on the boat, they will put you on earlier. I've gotten on earlier quite a few times.
Yeah.
They will do it. If they can push you over ahead of time, they will. And I also want to tell you, if you have, it goes by your car, it goes by your car size, goes by weight. And so you have to register all of those things. If you take your car over, you have to have an account. And if you do things like you want to take like a bike rack or add one of those little extra, like what they call maximizer racks that go on a hitch so you can pack more things, that all has to be that all plays into what the fees are, because it extends the size of the vehicle that you're taking on there. So just things to know, things that I didn't know the first time I tried to go there. So
yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
And according to Mike, you don't want to fly there, right, Mike?
Well, apparently, since the Obamas moved there, there's more amenities at the airport. I think other airlines actually fly the smaller planes out there. I think American flies out there now too. But yeah, Cape Scare, it's like you're getting on. Remember the beginning of Temple of Doom, and that's
on the plane.
The plane. On. I'm pretty sure that's the same plane that they use.
Is it Shea Lao Airlines? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Well, the tail shut up.
But they seat you by your weight, and they have all your luggage piled up. And the first time we flew over, it was Juanita and my son and I, and we got separated. So we flew over. My son and I flew over first, and I just remember the pilot telling us, "Oh, for those of you into history, this is the same route John F. Kennedy Jr. took."
Good information to know.
Thank you. You're going this all the way, and I knew that Juanita would be a mess because she's not a fan of flying anyway. So after that was the last time we take the ferry from now on. So yeah, but it's an adventure. You can say,
it's an adventure.
Watching Temple of Doom with your kids, you can say, "Hey, I was on that plane."
God.
And if you're lucky, you can sit by the pilot and pretend you're flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the lady that serves the sodas? There's some coffee in the thermos.
Get that ferry or plane ride, whatever you're doing, get that done and out of the way. Those fill up, and if you can't get what you need, that you can go on standby. But standby is the next available, which could be the next couple hours, could be the end of that day, could be a few days. You never know. So you really got to be careful with that, guys.
Yeah, I would say book within the next 2 weeks, and you should be fine. But yeah, once people start making their summer plans, you have to remember that Martha's Vineyard is a destination for everything, for summer weddings and graduation parties and all kinds of things. So once people get their summer plans finalized,
traditionally, families that have gone there for years with their families for summer, they're already booked, they're already planned. So if you're going to visit, now's your time to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I learned the hard way. The first time we went, I booked a place for us to stay. We went there. We were there for it was one night, 2 days and a night, basically. And we're talking to the lady. Great, got the room, this and that. She said, "So you have your ferry tickets?" And I went, "No, didn't get them yet. Thought we would, show up and get ferry tickets." She said, "Oh, you need to get off the phone with me right now and you need to get a ferry ticket
Yeah.
right now, because we booked in, like, it was at this time of year, about March. She's like, you need to get on it right now and do that to make sure you can get one and get one that coincides with when you're going to be there and come back. So, yeah, awesome. All right. And there are, speaking of travel, I was actually talking to someone this evening who threw a website or two my way, and I've got two really valuable websites for you guys at home that you're going to want to look into. And one of those, let me pull this guy over here. So one of these websites is literally mvtraveltips.com. It is literally a website just dedicated around traveling to and from the vineyard, because you're going out to an island. It's a bit different than just like heading to the seashore for the weekend. It really is. And being that it's an island, which is smaller community and stuff, things go a little different. They run a little different. So that's a really good one to check out right there. And they also have a Facebook page. You can literally get on Facebook, and it's Martha's Vineyard Travel Tips. And actually, the young lady who runs this site, Maria, is actually a member of our page as well. So honestly, you could probably even pop up questions on our page, and you might get her attention. So really good resource here. Anything related to traveling to and from the island. So. And I have another one for us. Let me pull up the second one here. All right, I got a lot of balls in the air here tonight, so let me pull that guy back out. And one second here. The other one, honestly, a universal resource. I think anytime you're looking at anything on the island, that would be the Chamber of Commerce, and that's what I want to pull up next.
Yes.
Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce website is incredibly important website, because it's kind of the hub. It's really the main hub for information on the island, no matter what it is. So let me we'll grab that guy. Let me see if I got the right one. I have so many in queue here. I think this is it right here. Here we go. Nope, that's the one I just pulled up. I apologize. Sorry. I have got 12 tabs open here, so I've got a lot to share tonight. I apologize for that mistake.
Show us the boat again.
Yeah. All right. I think I got my ducks in a row this time. I do want to write on that thing. Let me tell you. All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. This is the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce website, and it is literally mvy.com. This is a central hub for just about everything. They have ferry information. They have contacts as far as booking places. They have information pertaining to the different towns, events, you name it. This is kind of the main hub where all of your local information gets funneled through. Very valuable website.
Look at there.
Yes. Yeah, some great places there. Ooh, Tiger Hawk, killer sandwiches there. Oh, man.
Mad Martha's, man. You can go wrong with Mad Martha's.
Oh, Chillmark Coffee, Mad Martha's ice cream is incredible.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Yep. Yeah. So
the carousel.
Another incredible resource. Yeah. Yeah. Inkwell Beach. We usually stay not too far from there. Yep. Can't wait.
I know. I'm mentally already there.
I'm just sitting there in silence and daydreaming about June. So
Exactly.
So yes, mvy.com, you guys. Again, I'll try and get some of these links posted up for us. So let me pull that down. And so I think the next big thing we really need to talk about is transportation getting around on the island. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
What do you typically do when you're there on the island?
Well, I usually bring a car because this year it's Juanita and my son's family and 3 grandkids, and I don't want to bustle and hustle around with them on buses and stuff. But when I don't have a car, though, the bus system is incredible.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. When we went the last time, we took a vehicle because it was 5 of us, but when John and I had gone by ourselves, we always did the bus system, and literally they have a really great schedule to get you from one point of the island to the other. So, and it's the fees for the day. I think they said that they're running them free though this time. Are they not? Is that what I understand?
Yeah. So if you get on the site, it gives you the exact details. I know
Okay.
that they are running a special program where they're running free bus fare. I don't know all the details about that, but yes, I'm pretty certain that that's what's going on, because they even have here. In fact, I have my little cursor going to it. It says press release free fare initiative. So
Okay.
11/29/24 through 9/30/25. So yes,
Okay,
now
so that's an option that people can at least go into and see. I mean,
yes,
and to be honest, when we went, of course, the fares have changed over the years. I'm quite sure with the economy, but even for just if you bought a 1 day pass or even a week pass, if you're going to be there, it's still a great deal and can get you to where you need to go.
oh, it really is.
There's
I mean,
yeah,
even having a car there at times, we would just go get the bus pass. Into the one year that we were there into July,
yeah,
things start to ramp up and they start to get very busy. And
correct.
what happens was when I'm there in early June and I can kind of drive around and get parking spaces just about anywhere for the most part. In July was becoming a different story. There was once or twice we were going to Aquina, I had to turn around because you can drive anywhere you want, but there was but the parking just, it swallows up awfully
It's
quick at times. So you have to be aware of that. Yeah.
due to the fact of it being an island, and you have to understand that even though it's beautiful, it's very small as far as parking goes, and it's very limited. So taking the bus to these other places is a very great option to at least get you around. And you just pick up a schedule, figure out where you want to go,
Mm-hmm.
figure your agenda, and they'll take you right there. There's stops all along the way,
Yep.
no matter where you're at.
Yeah. And they do daily passes. They do 3-day passes. If you're just going for like a weekend or a long weekend, they
Yeah, I
do
think
3-day
so.
passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do week-long passes as well. So,
Yeah.
and speaking of the island, Donna is on. She's hanging out with us tonight. Says, "Hi guys, I made it. Got dinner done early." I was just talking to Donna not too long before we got on, and she said, "Yes, the 3-day bus pass works well."
I want to
Yeah.
know what she had for dinner.
Yeah.
The woman's a phenomenal cook.
I was gonna say I don't know, but I can't imagine she's a bad cook.
No,
Oh,
she,
no.
Can't
oh
imagine.
no,
Oh, she makes
no.
killer,
Not at all.
killer chowder.
Yep.
Ooh.
Golly, her baked beans.
She could adopt me anytime. Not a
Mm.
problem. I would not have a problem with that. Yeah. Oh, and Milos is on. Just stopping in to say hi and big hug
Hey,
for
bud.
everybody. Milos, thanks, buddy. Good to see you on here as well. Yeah.
Milos, don't forget to send me your picture.
So yeah, guys, taking a car, it's great. But getting around by car, getting around the bus system is excellent. All you do is
Yes.
you see the purple outline, it says VTA right there. You just look for signs that have that purple symbol on them, and that's a bus. And a lot of the island, it's like 15, 20 minutes intervals. Now, if you head further up island, if you go out to like the western end of the island there, it's longer because it's further out and back, and you actually have to get off, change buses about halfway to the route if you're going out to like Gayhead, Quina, those places. I'm not sure about. I think Chilmark might be Chilmark, right by the general store. I think where you exchange, but that's a little bit of a longer ride. And keep in mind, it does take a little longer the busier it is in summer. You're talking about an island that has roads that were put in before cars were in, and so there is no highway.
No.
There really isn't. In fact, there's no red
Mostly
lights
two lanes. Yeah, they're mostly 2 lanes. Yes.
Yeah. Mostly just a little 2-lane road. And so you have to keep that in mind. And, your other 2 options obviously are walking, which if you're within one of the big towns on the eastern side, down island, walking is always a great thing to do. It's something that we do a ton of. And the other thing is, honestly, a bike ride. There are bike pathways that take you to every major town of the island. Your own paved bike pathway. You don't even have to be out in the road. I mean, there really is. It is a great way. It's honestly, it's the main way that I get around to places. In fact, I'll be doing that this summer. So you have options. Yeah. So good stuff there. So let me pull that guy down. All right. Okay. So any questions so far? I didn't see too many question-wise as far as anything goes. I think we're looking pretty good as far as that goes. So town-wise, we've got, because I should pull that guy up too. As far as the towns on the island here, we've got a couple towns on the island, but the unique thing about the towns is, I'm sure you guys agree with me, every town is its own.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't go from one town to the next and you're like, oh, it looks like I was in the last town. You're not going to confuse them at all whatsoever. Each one is just a little bit different unto itself from the last
I
one.
was gonna say they're unique in their own right.
Yeah, they really are.
Yes.
When you guys come into port, you're going to come into most likely one of two places, either up at the north end there, Vineyard Haven, or you're going to come into Oak Bluffs. Vineyard Haven is the year-round port, where Oak Bluffs, I believe, is just summer. Now, there is some fast ferries that come into Edgartown as well. I don't know. I would assume they're probably like the High Line, like the little fast ferries and stuff. I don't know all the details on that. And that's where you get off. And those three towns tend to be, I would say, really big tourist attractions as far as town goes. Wouldn't you guys say? Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those
Yeah.
those are the
Those are like the main three.
Yes.
the hot spots.
Yes. And from a Jaws standpoint, quite a bit of that there. Edgartown being where just about every one of your in-town scenes have been shot. We're down in Edgartown. Of course, Chappaquiddick, we all tend to be somewhat familiar with that name for reasons dealing with Jaws and not dealing with Jaws, including the beginning of Jaws 2, when Brody's driving the GMC over the bridge. He's driving over the bridge here in Chappaquiddick.
Yep.
Oak Bluffs, a couple scenes there from Jaws. And if you know anything about the making of the film, you know that they tended to park the sharks down there in the harbor. In fact, they were kept in a boathouse out in Oak Bluffs. In fact, Donna, if you go on a tour with Donna, she'll take you to where that boathouse is.
Yes,
I know that for a fact because I have been there with her. Yeah. Yep. And if you want to see the Brody's house, that's where you're going to go. Beautiful little closed road called East Chop. That takes you right by where that lighthouse is. It's literally right down from the Telegraph Lighthouse. Yeah. Great little spot. Yeah. Awesome spot. So do you guys have a favorite town at all?
Oh God.
I like
Tough, isn't it?
Edgartown, there's a lot of locations there, and you can walk down the street and you get the kind of feel like you're in the movie.
Yeah.
A lot of little shops, but Vineyard Haven's nice. Quina's nice to go out and look at the lighthouse. There's really not a ugly spot on that island. Anywhere you go, you're going to see,
Yeah.
nature
For me,
at its finest.
I like the Bluffs because there's a lot of shopping and restaurants there, and you get a different vibe as well. And then you have that's where Backdoor Donuts is. I mean, you can't miss that. So that's my fun spot because that's my heart right there between me and Juanita. Backdoor Donuts.
Yeah.
But Mike's right.
Tasty.
There's not. Oh gosh, that was so funny that night. We had so much fun that night. We really did. But to be honest, no matter what town you go in, if you're such a fan, you're going to know the spots. And like Mike said, you're going to feel like you're in there. You're going to feel like you're a part of that movie when you go. Whether your first time or your fifth time. Yeah. So
you're going to walk in there and know where you're at and know what scene it's from.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the interior of the island and the western side of the island is very different from the eastern side. It is a very rural side of the island. To be honest with you, I love it. I do. Yeah. You go right smack dab in the middle of it. That's where the airport is. There's also a big state park there with tons of like trails and stuff. You can, go for a hike or a run or mountain bike, or you just want to disappear. A lot of outdoor activities on the island. So a lot kayaking, hiking, trailblazing, like I said, all types of cycling right in the middle of the island. There is a huge disc golf grounds. It's like 3 different courses. You can go, take you 2 hours to play one of them. I mean, there's tons of things going on. As you travel westward, you go into West Tisbury, you go into Chilmark, and even down to Aquina. Yeah, they don't have the bustling, all the million shops and the nightlife and tons of restaurants. What they do have, on top of being beautiful, and scenic is you really get into these wonderful little places you find, like the Chilmark General Store, and you go down to Aquina and some of the Native American spots there. And there's just these beautifully and quaint little places, little sandwich shop places that might not quite show up everywhere, say on Google Maps, that these little gems that you just stumble across. And I've stumbled across quite a few doing that. I can remember we were down in Aquina the one day, and we were waiting to catch the bus on the way back, and it was weather was kind of getting a little rough. It was starting to rain a little bit, and I just walked into a sandwich shop that was, I don't know, maybe the size of a one-car garage, and half of it was where they cooked everything. And I ordered up a sandwich. It was like I don't know, ham and cheese with something, and I got it, and it was simply amazing. I mean, it was ridiculous. You're going, dear God, I'm going back there just for a sandwich.
Yeah, you're going to eat good on the island. That's
trip.
Yeah, because there's no fast food, no chain restaurants there.
No.
Everything is different. Everything is unique. Everything's homemade.
Yes, and a huge shout out for food on the island, because I got to say, if you are a food lover like I am, you will not be disappointed. The food on the island is ridiculously good. I mean, it honestly is. It is just blows me away how good it is. And I'm not talking, don't get me wrong, seafood. You're talking about some of the best seafood you're going to get, because this is where it's coming from, you know, going to other places of the country. Food in general. I mean, really, I walk in offshore and get a brick oven pizza, and it's just ridiculously good. You go into what is it? Tiger Paw down there that we saw in the video, and get one of their subs and sandwiches. Over the top good. I mean, really, so many good places, guys. The food is incredible. You will not go there and get a meal and go, I can't believe I got to eat this. And it's just amazing. Yeah. Very much so. And speaking to scenery on the western side of the island, if you haven't been there, that's Aquina, and that's the Gay Head Lighthouse. And you're not too far away from Quint's Shack there. And if you get a chance, if you're not a hiker or anything else, you need to go there and follow the trail from the lighthouse down and walk along those clay cliffs. That is just one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. Honestly, every time we go there, I make sure I make my way down the beach and walk along there. Yeah.
I've been to the lighthouse, but I've never been down to the shore. I've never been down to the water.
If you have not been there,
there's still things I haven't done. Yeah, there's still a lot of things on the island that I haven't done that I would love to.
It is just incredible there. Yeah, absolutely incredible there.
The spot where the opening scene, never been to it. That's one of my goals this time. Never been.
Really?
I've driven by it. Donna showed it to us.
Sure.
But I've never really have been on the spot.
Right.
No,
okay. Well, we got a couple spots to take you then.
Yeah, we'll just make sure I come back.
Little steak necklace, go out in the water.
I am not going out. Listen, dude. I'm like Spielberg. I know way too much about what goes on now in that film. What is it he said? They know me now.
On their list.
Yeah. Oh, look at Janie's there.
But yeah, it's amazing. The dynamics of the island are just so diverse and like we said, and different from one another. And the other thing that Mike was talking about earlier, there is no commercialization whatsoever. You're not going to see a McDonald's drive-through. You're not going to see a Holiday Inn. There's not going to be a Walmart there. It doesn't exist. And so on top of the food, and on top of, the lack of that, the other thing outside of the restaurants and stuff on the eastern side of the island is the farms. Have you guys ever kicked around and hit any of the farms?
I've passed them, but never.
A lot of So a lot of farms, what they do, and I found this out, honestly, just doing bike rides down the western side of the island, because it tends to be not as busy, especially at the peak of the day. More cars are traveling, I think, on the eastern side, what they call down island, Edgartown, right. Those things, where on the western side is definitely quieter. So when I go out there for bike rides, we go with guys that ride on the island. We go up and down the other side of the island, and you'll be riding past, and it could be a dirt road that goes into a small farmette. and there could be just a little shed or a shack on the end of the road, and you just pull in there, and they will have, like, I don't know, fresh yogurt that they just made, or they will have like fresh milk or eggs and things like that, or just some dried whatever cod that they happen to prepare that day. You go to the next one, you go to Beetlebung, and you go in there, they carry beef.
Beetlebung.
That's kind of what they specialize in and stuff like that. There was another one that I'm trying to remember, the one it was called like Bluefish or something, that we went to, that just had all kinds of stuff, just unbelievably amazing food. It really is. And some of the places you pull in, I went to one place, they were making breakfast sandwiches, and I said, hey, can I get it was like, egg and bacon and cheese breakfast sandwich. And she goes, I don't know, let me go see if they laid any more eggs yet, because we were out a half hour ago.
Oh my God.
You talk about farm to table.
That's
Fresh.
It is, yes, it is fresh. It really is fresh. And there's actually a map, again, get on the Chamber of Commerce website, of all of the participating farms on the island. So all those little white dots you see, and those participating farms, and a lot of them, they even have like farmers markets and stuff. So they will set up, there's a couple of big ones, and I wish I could remember some of the names, but if it's something of interest of you, you can get on there and check out, where you can go in, do some shopping, get something to eat. Just really, really cool experiences.
I think there's like a market. It's at this place called Featherstone. I think it's like an arts center. And John and I went one time, and it had a lot of good, little booths in there of just pictures or paintings and or art that's been sculpted or whatever, or even just antiques. And we bought this like door knocker of a mermaid. It was a mermaid door knocker or something. Then we bought
door knocker of a mermaid. Now that's the way. That's the way.
All nautical stuff in an island.
How was she? Okay. She was a door knocker of a mermaid.
Thank you, doctor. So anyway, we bought. Shut up. But it's a really cool place to go if you wanted to do like antiquing and stuff.
Sure.
That's the place. That was a really good place that we stopped at, and it was called Featherstone at their art center.
And maybe Don or someone could chime in and give me some details, but there are weekly farmers markets. I think one sets up in Shillmark at the local meeting house.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. Maybe it's like Sunnydale Farms or something like that. They have their whole own little marketplace too.
They grow mermaid door knockers.
Mermaid door knockers. I'm going to be looking for some of them now. You know that. Mermaid door knockers.
Really, back to Tennessee.
Actually, there is a. If you guys go to Aquina, that's where the Wampanoags have their. That's where they are officially located. And they have some shops right there as you go down to the lighthouse. Most of them are, I believe, are owned, Native American owned, and the one I think all the way in the end, right before the restaurant. That lady sells amazing things. They do out of driftwood. They have some metal things. And if someone has mermaid door knockers, I'd be willing to bet
I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to push you over the cliff. Okay, that's it. You're done, brother.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right.
Oh,
but you have so many options, and as much as the fact that there isn't commercialization there, and you might not be able to find certain conveniences, like, I don't know, go down to Wawa or Sheets or wherever you go and get that morning coffee. There are everything is mom and pop, but it's there. You can find it in every single town, whether it's a rural town, whether it's one of the big towns. They're always there, and it's always above my pay grade quality. It really is. Just going and getting coffee. Whether you go into there's this little coffee shop. Literally, it's called like behind the bookstore in Eggertown. It's just behind the bookstore.
It is. It's behind it. I've been there.
You walk up the little shop and or like I love going to Mochamots, which is down in the basement of one of the stores right on Circuit Avenue in Oak Bluffs, and grabbing a coffee. You roll into the Chillmark General Store, and literally grind it up and just do it fresh right there. I mean, they're just all over the place. And again, it's simply amazing. The quality and the standards they hold themselves to is incredible. Mm-hmm. The food, the clothing. I mean, whatever you're into, you name it. You want to go out and do some fishing, always boats there for hire. There's so
For
many
charters, yeah.
opportunities. Yeah, for whatever you're into, honestly. And the one thing we're not really talking about is arts and entertainment. That's a
Right.
big thing. That's
Right.
huge on the island. I know Vineyard Haven is really known for that. I think probably more so than the others, but they even have a theater on the island.
Yes.
Movie theaters are on the island. Music is on the island. I mean, it's a very big part of that island. Yeah.
I think they show Jaws every Sunday.
I believe it's every
think so.
Sunday in
Every Sunday.
Edgartown.
I'm sure they'll have more
Mhm.
more showings this summer, but
Yeah.
and then if you go to Vineyard Haven, Vineyard Haven or Oak Bluffs, where the Island Theater was, where the carousel is.
Oak Bluffs.
It says
Oak Bluffs, yeah.
the Bluffs. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right next the Island Theater, Jaws premiered, and right next to that is a T-shirt shop owned by Chris Rabella's brother.
Rebel. Yeah, Todd.
Todd.
Yeah, he loves telling stories about his brother. So
Oh my God, he told me a story and it broke me to tears. When we met him back in 2012, I was brought to tears by Todd.
Well, and if you haven't, he has a couple shops, but if you haven't been in
Yes.
that shop, the one that you're talking about, I believe it's right next to either Murdoch's Fudge or it's right next to the hamburger joint.
Yeah.
Just up from the Strand right there, right? What you're talking about.
Mhm.
You'll know as soon as you go in there, it's his shop.
It's
Yeah.
the
All we gotta do
shop.
is
Yeah.
look at the back wall, and you
Yep.
will know where you
Yeah.
are, and you will look like me walking out of there with as much crap as you can possibly get through the door with.
and I think the Mellows, they do T-shirts too.
I think they do as well.
They have like a screen
Screen printing, maybe. Yeah,
screen
yeah.
printing
Printing.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the Brody
Yeah.
boys grew up to
Yeah.
make T-shirts.
Yeah.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yep. I went to
And-
Amity Island and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
My favorite one is I have the one that says I jumped off the bridge. And it's a picture of people jumping off the bridge, and then, of course, there's this monstrous great white head coming
Great
out of
white
the water. Yes. And you know what? Speaking of which, give you guys a break from hearing us talk. I did pull up one little clip. If you guys get on the Chamber of Commerce website, they even do short little videos pertaining to the different towns and things. I'm just gonna play a quick clip of Oak Bluffs for you guys, and you pick up a little bit on what we're talking about here. Let me pull that in here. All right. Come on here.
Oh,
Okay,
those are so
there
pretty.
we go. There we go. Okay.
Where you're staying,
Yes.
Nate?
I'm staying in Oak Bluffs, not too far from the bridges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, so it sounds like you and I aren't going to be too far from each other.
Yeah, we're in West Tisbury. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. All right, let me let this roll here for a minute. Cottages or something. If you guys haven't seen Gingerbread Cottages of Oak Bluff, the campgrounds, you need to go see that. That's the edge of the park. Beautiful park, by the way. Ocean View Park. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, alpacas.
There's the alpacas.
Oh, look how pretty.
Patrick Mahomes haircut.
There's Giordano's, great local place. Right
That's
in Oak
another
Bluff.
place I haven't been to. I've been to Nancy's. I love
Nancy's, yes.
Yes.
Inkwell Beach, great spot. We have stayed right off that beach a couple times. Yeah. There you go. Your favorite boat coming in, your least favorite boat going out.
Went out. I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. I just want to shoot a little snippet out there. If you guys get on the Chamber of Commerce website, they have little snippets of just about every town. I think they do a great job. Honestly, I think you need to get there and experience it to really do justice. But yeah.
There's
Yeah.
also, I'm sorry. I was going to say there's
Oh, go
also
ahead.
if you have an Apple phone or you can download, if you go to like Visit Massachusetts and put it on an app, There's some really great apps for your phone too that you can look into about the vineyard.
Yeah. And I was
And I
just going
think
to
the
say, there's a lot of
topography,
things to do that aren't as related.
right?
That,
Oh,
that
tons,
you'll really have a good time.
tons,
Absolutely.
and
Beautiful gardens there.
oh yes, oh
Mhm.
yes, wonderful gardens. In fact, take the boat ride over to Chappie and go out and hit
Mhm.
My Toy Gardens and some other things out there. And speaking to what Janie said, they actually have apps just for Martha's Vineyard.
Correct.
If you get an app store and put in Martha's Vineyard, you will come up. There's MV Trail. I think there's MV Travel. There's a couple different ones just for the island
Yes.
that are great. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good apps. Yes. Very good. All right. Well, I feel like we kind of hit a little bit of the basis as far as getting there, as far as getting around some of the different towns and things. And so I thought what we would do tonight is I thought maybe we would wrap up with a couple little do's and don'ts. So just some little personal things that I've kind of learned over my trips there. And I definitely am not an expert on it, but I've been there a couple times. So I feel like starting to kind of get a handle on things. And so I thought we would do a little bit of that before we wrap things up tonight. So the do's of Martha's Vineyard, and if you guys can speak to any of these or something that I didn't mention here or whatever, just kind of jump in there. So the first one I have up there is book your ferry tickets ASAP.
Absolutely.
That is the big thing.
The ferry and your places that you're staying at, because everything books up fairly fast. And
Very
not just
fast.
because of it being the 50th anniversary, homecoming, reunion, whatever it's because it is a vacation place to go.
Yeah.
So the sooner you book, the better off you're going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're talking about a place that goes from 17,000 year-round residents to ballooning of like 120 to 150,000
Yes.
people in the summer by
Yes.
August. So yeah, definitely does. Next one on there, look at your transportation options, deciding, are you taking a car? Where are you going? Maybe look at using a bus, maybe even, maybe bike somewhere. If you're in one of the local towns, just a bit of walking around can be a lot of fun, but look at all your options that are out there.
Yeah. And there are some like van taxis also, but if you're looking
Yes.
at less cost, buses are really good. But so there is transportation that can take you around the island.
Yeah. Plan on incredible food. That's what we said. All three of us here can attest. You will not go there and get a bad
Black
meal.
Dog, man. I love the Black Dog Cafe. That's my favorite.
Every place that I've been to.
Yeah.
I mean, even the food at the bowling alley on the island is incredible food at the bistro. I mean, it's all just,
Breakfast at the Eggertown Diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I told Juanita said, well, where are we going to go for dinner? I said, dinner. I said, we got a house. I said, we get there. I said, we fly all day, we travel, and you don't mind making dinner, will you? She did mine. So, yeah.
The last time we were there, we had rented a house because I had kids with me. I had in-laws with me, and there was a grill. And I'll tell you what was a lot of fun and a viable option between going and buying cooking at home and going out is there are plenty of places on the island that you can go and buy fresh seafood right off the boats that capture it.
Make your own.
Yeah.
And make your own. Listen, we did that, and we had some meals at nights that I think at times rivaled some of the stuff that we picked up. I mean, just amazing stuff. Yeah, if you go down to there's a fresh fish house in Eggertown. There's one in Vineyard Haven, goes by the name of Net Result. If you go down to Menemsha, where Quint Shack is, there's two right next to one another. And you can call ahead and order. You can go pick up fresh, cook at home, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
And if you're coming over with a car, if you have a house, if you place with kitchen facilities, you might consider just packing a cooler and bringing some stuff over, because it's like you go to Hawaii or Alaska. It costs more to get items there, so things are a little more costlier than they are, and
that's what we did, because we had the two girls and my mom, and it was my ex-husband and myself, and we stopped at actually in Falmouth. There is a Walmart, there's grocery stores, the Stop and Shop and stuff like that. And Mike's right. Go ahead and get your essentials that you're going to need for those homes that you're going to rent out, and just put it in your vehicle, take it over to the island. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. And that's what we do. That's what we are doing. In fact, we've already had
Yeah.
that discussion, making a list of what we're going to take. Now, there are grocery stores in the island. Every
Yeah.
town has one. There's a Kroger's, I think is in Oak Bluffs. There's, like I said, there's no commercialization.
Yeah.
Stop and Shop,
Stop and Shop is in Edgartown.
or what John says, Stop and Rob, but that's what him.
Yeah. And there's also one in Vineyard Haven. So they are there, but you're not going to have, the convenience of Giants or Acme's or whatever you guys, 24-hour shops. It's mom and pop. So, next one there. So hit the shops of Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. So if you like checking out cool little shops and boutiques and handmade stuff and very artistic things, anything and everything you can imagine, clothing, knickknacks for the house, beautiful painting, metalwork, photography. I mean, dear God, it is there. And you're going to find stuff there you're not going to find anywhere else. You're just not. Handmade stuff. It is just incredible. So much artisan appreciation for that island. It's unbelievable. And if you get a day where the weather's not too bad, go up and down, a little rainy or whatever, hit Circuit Avenue, walk up and down the shops, really. I mean, just definitely something to do, just to kick around, spend a little time. Next one there, find the lighthouses. Go visit the lighthouses. Yeah. Some beautiful lighthouses in some incredible areas. And honestly, each one is pretty diverse from each other. It really is. Cool spots. In fact, when you're coming in on the ferry, you'll pass the one in Oak Bluffs, Telegraph Hill, right by the Brody House. You'll see that as you're coming in. Go check out Gayhead, though. I think, to look at is just amazing. With the scenery there is just incredible. Yeah. Next up, hit the farms and restaurants. Again, you can't go wrong on the food, and try some different restaurants. There's a bunch of different ones around. You don't have to be a seafood nut. There's plenty of other. There's Brazilian steakhouses. There's more cultural food. Giordano's is an Italian place that I'd love to go to, and go to the farms. I'm telling you, amazing handmade things made on these places. Really is. Next
What's
up,
the restaurant next to the Carroll House?
To the Carroll House.
It's like down. It's like the room is like from the 1770s.
Oh, the News.
Interior.
Oh, the News.
News. Yes.
Yeah.
The News.
Yeah.
That's the News. You know what?
Tips.
That's the place. I wanted to get in there before they went in. Apparently, they went in and they changed it a bit inside, but that is was still an old tavern dating back to the 1700s. Yeah. The News there. Yep. Yeah. Right in Edgartown.
It's Edgartown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in Edgartown. Yeah, right by the Kelly House.
That's where the cast and crew stayed. So.
Yeah.
That's where we were supposed to go for dinner when John and I got married, but they never called our table, so we didn't even get to eat there.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow. So I've never been to the Kelly House. So.
Yeah, I haven't been in there yet either. It's one place I need to go. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Kelly House. Sorry, Bob Carroll owned it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
House. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the Kelly House. Yeah.
What? He's rambling.
I know you said Carroll House. I'm like, I don't know what the Carroll House is, but that's okay.
We got the news right, though. The news is right.
I was going to say, and me and names, I can't say anything. So I'm just going to sit here and keep my mouth shut. So next up, tour the Jaws locations. They're around. You're going to stumble across half of them. Some of them you're going to need someone to show you where they are, and some are on private property, in which you have to definitely need to be respectful of that. But if you have someone who is familiar with the island, and we know people, so don't be afraid to reach out and say, "Hey, listen,
someone like Donna, most definitely."
Exactly, Donna would take you on a really good tour of the island, or just people that have been there, been around places. I would love to show someone around a couple of different spots, some pretty cool spots. And it's neat, just like these guys talk about. You could literally have a snapshot from the movie on your phone and hold it up and go, "Why, yep, that's it right there."
That's the spot. There it is.
Unmistakable. And there are tours there are many tours you can take, bus tours, individual tours, whatever, in quite a few of the towns. So visit the cliffs in Aquina and Gayhead. Even if you're not an outdoor person, it would pay for you to go check these places out. It really would. Yeah. Just one of the marvels of, I think, of the island in general. Just those big old clay cliffs, the Native American story that goes along with it, and then also, honestly, how they were formed. It's literally just clay and sediment that was deposited by the glaciers as they went across and created the cape. Just an incredible place to look at. Yeah. And go to Menemsha and catch a sunset. Have you guys done that?
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm not a big sunset guy. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's a sunset. I was told, I think Donna told us, said, go down. She said, go down to either Larson's or the other fish shop and order yourself a shore lunch. Call around lunchtime and put it in and go get one and take a blanket and go sit on the beach, eat your shore lunch and watch the sunset. And you know what? Spot on. Probably the best sunset I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah. People clap as the sun's going down. I mean, that's how incredible it is. Yeah. It's like you're at a movie. Movie's done. People stand and clap. It's amazing. Yeah.
Much fancier than that Pennsylvania sun, isn't it? Yeah.
You're not kidding about that, Mike. Haven't seen much of that Pennsylvania sun either. It's almost as bad as I'd be out visiting a family member out in California and say, hey, where's the sun? Oh, you can't see it from the marine layer. Oh, wait, you mean the fog? The smog is out there? The pollution?
Is that what it is?
Oh, no. It's the marine layer. That's what it's like. It's good for you or something. Here, have some marine layer in your coffee, you know?
Keeps the UV rays out from burning you.
Yeah. Doesn't do much for the lungs, but yeah. You don't get red. Yes. And stop by the general stores.
Those
you
are
don't
cool
just
to go
have to
to.
wander into your big shops and stuff. There are tons of these wonderful, neat little general stores that have been around forever. You walk into a couple of them, you go into the back, and the locals that live there, their mailboxes are still in the back. That's where the mail gets delivered to, because they're so rural. It's just, great little places. All right. And then one more, and that is the island don'ts. What you don't want to do, what you want to avoid. Yeah. Number one, I think is a big one. You don't want to go trespassing on private land and private beaches. It's not something you want to do. One thing I found is a lot of the people that live there are amazing individuals. They really are. They're wonderful people to talk to. I love the generosity and I love the attitudes they have towards people, but they do put up with an awful lot. And I've seen it even with the Jaws fans that, oh man, that's from the shot. I'm going over. I don't care what the sign says. Yeah, you got to be respectful of that.
I was going to say, you have to be respectful.
Breakaway Pier was, and used to be when Lynn Murphy had the Orca 2 beached. Yeah, people would go over and destroy it, and it was
across from Menemsha there. Yeah, and look for signs, because there is a lot of private beach, and there are beaches that are only open to year-round residents. So you do need to be aware of those things. So,
don't pick the seagrass.
Yes. And if you trespass down the wrong beach and you don't pay attention to signs, you could get yourself into some serious trouble, because they still find at times live and unexploded rounds from practice getting ready for World War II on the island. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yes, they do. Yep.
Last time I was there, they shut down a part of the beach because they found an unexploded, undetonated round from like World War II. Yeah.
Gracious.
Yeah. Not something you want to find. All right. Don't always count on parking spaces. Sometimes you can go and parking is fine. It can depend on the time of year. I want to say that earlier May and June, the better you are at getting parking. Remember, it's an island. It's a small place. You're not going to have these enormous parking lots. A lot of times you're doing on-street parking. Even the parking lot down in like Edgartown probably holds, right there at the water, I don't know, maybe 50 cars, and that's about it. You have time limits in some of them. So don't always count on parking, or plan ahead that you can, if you couple people drive around, try and find a spot and meet back up, or, but just look out for that. That is something you do have to think about. Yeah. Don't forget to ask the locals. As I said, and I don't know if you guys have had the experience I did, but the people I've met that live on the island that I've talked to and had interactions with are just amazing people. just incredibly nice, incredibly down to earth. Willing to help you out, give you information, places to go. In fact, I've had a couple of them tell me some really cool places to go visit that, happen to be like a local thing, and really enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah. Great people. Yep. All right. Don't forget your phone to navigate. It is about the best tool you can do when you're going around. Honestly, you're walking around any town or trying to get somewhere, have your phone with you. It is an incredible travel companion. Whether you're looking for a place to eat, place to go, or just trying to navigate where you are, where you get to. Works great. So here's a big one. Don't bring only summer clothes, especially if you're coming in June.
Nope.
Don't bring summer clothes.
You're on the water and the sun does go down.
That's exactly right. And I mean, yes. And even during the day at times, I mean, the last time I was there, we only had one day that got into the 70s. We had a lot of like 50s and 60s, and nighttime's definitely, I mean, we always are in jeans and sweatshirts and stuff at nighttime. Always. So keep that in mind. And if the front or something blows in, it's typically takes longer for spring to come in, and it's typically cooler there than I know than where it is where I'm at. Last time, 2 trips ago, we were there, and it was the end of our trip, and it got to like 82, and a little bit of humidity moved in, and people were complaining about it. I opened my phone up, and it was 97 with like humidity of like 95% at my house in Pennsylvania. I said, dear God, I'm glad I'm here. So back, people often criticize the movie Jaws about how the people are dressed. If you're there in June, you're going to understand why people are dressed that way.
Correct. You're going to see why they have the lightweight jackets and the sweatshirts and the beanies and all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Don't forget tick spray, particularly if you're an outdoor person, you like to adventure and go kick around, and you're an outdoor activity person of any kind. They are quite prevalent on the island. They have two main types of ticks there, and you can get Lyme disease. So do be careful of that. Something to be mindful of.
If you're an outdoor guy. Never eat bacon again either.
Never had what?
You never eat bacon again either. No, it's true. My son got a tick bite last year, and now if he eats any kind of red meat, he gets horribly sick.
Oh wow!
Really? It's like
it changed his whole system then.
Yeah,
no kidding.
So it's a kid who works for me, his father-in-law has it, and he says, and they every 3 months they tell him just try to take a little bite of something because eventually it goes away.
But you don't know when.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't realize they did all that.
I'd rather just have a tick kill me if I couldn't eat bacon. So.
I was gonna say that's a life of misery if I couldn't eat meat. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm a bit of a carnivore. Yeah, and that's that's one of those things that a lot of times testing for Lyme disease is like a last ditch because they don't know what else is going on with people.
Correct.
It's a tough one. Yeah. If you want to jump off the Jaws Bridge, don't jump off the wrong bridge. And I'm not saying that to be funny. You guys find the bridges. If they're between Oak Bluffs and Hagerstown, there are 2 bridges. The Jaws Bridge, which is the I believe it was the military.
Legion.
Is that what it is? American Legion. Yeah. It was something military related, and it has a plaque on there. I believe Mikey Waters has an engraved plaque that's on there now. It shows the orca sinking, says Jaws. That is the Jaws Bridge. There's another bridge, and I will tell you that that I know for a fact people have jumped off the wrong bridge and gotten injured because the other bridge, it's much shallower water, less water. Even if you want to be adventurous enough to go jump off the Jaws Bridge, you got to be careful what you're doing there. Yeah. Make sure where you're jumping, and there's often a lot of people doing it. So just a little heads up there. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying
we're not saying to do it either.
Well, if anyone wants to join me, I'm game. How's that?
If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'll be right here.
That's exactly right. I was known by my mom as the instigator, so I would be the one talking you into that part, but I'm not going to say that too much here.
Why does this not surprise me? I don't know.
All right. Next, don't be late to the ferry. If you miss your ferry, if you're a walk-on, that's one thing. You're going to be waiting around for whatever hour, whatever the duration is. If you're taking a car and you miss your ferry, you don't know how long you're going to be there, particularly on how busy it is. You could be there for a couple hours. You might be there for another night trying to find another place to stay.
Might be sleeping in it in the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other option. Yeah. Hope you got a big SUV or a van or something you can sleep in comfortably because you might
stretch
be
out
there.
in the back, guys.
That's exactly right. Yeah, yeah. And lastly, don't think it's going to be your last visit.
Nope.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Always go back.
I
Always
100%.
plan on going back.
always, I
I'm
went
like
there.
past due. I'm past due.
Yeah, I went there first on a whim, and I knew that we were in the Boston area, and I lured my family into going over, and we've all fallen in love with it. Not just for Jaws,
Yep.
we fell in love for the Vineyard, and we just keep on going back. In fact, we were supposed to go, what was it, 2022, when the Vineyard was at its height, and it killed us. We had to forego and wait and go back another like year or two later, and it was a tough one. And we haven't been back in 3 years. I've been really kind of waiting and pinching pennies for this upcoming trip. So, yeah.
4 years.
Yep.
4 years for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 years for you, Mike? Yeah. Well, let's
Yep.
see. Last I went was 2017.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I'm
Oh,
past due, man. I told you I'm past due.
gotta get you there. Yeah. Wow.
I am past due. We were supposed to have gone. We did a trip with the girls, and then John and I said, well, let's do a trip with the nephews. And we were going to do a camping trip. So we were going to rent a camper, go out there, whatever. COVID hit, and we never got a chance to go. And then life happened, and here we are.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's the way it goes. Time gets away from you, and you come to find time is one of the most valuable things you have. So, yeah.
So
Get out
sister
there
here
and
is ready.
experience it. Yep. I am ready. We are counting the days down. Trust me.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that's what we have for you guys this evening. I want to thank you for hopping on and hanging out with us. Hopefully, we're able to give you some information that was useful to you. And like I said, I will try and get some of the links that I talked about up here. I'm going to try and get those posted for you guys. And make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have some ladies from the Vineyard on helping us out with trying to maybe sorting, giving some more details about the events that currently are out there. And I say that because I wouldn't be surprised if more things pop up. We've got 3 months
Between now and then. Yeah.
So definitely. But either way, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for a good evening. Sorry you had to hear me talk that long, but a lot of information to kind of share out there.
You just did that so you can show the boat. That's all you did it for.
I want that boat.
I know you want that boat.
And if that thing is holding a value like a Camaro or a Firebird of that year, that damn thing's probably like $80,000 right now.
Oh my God.
You know?
Money well spent.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Although boats are like cars, they're a money pit and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when they're in good shape. Even when they're in good shape, because you got to make it yours. Beautiful paint job, but that's not what I would do to the side of it. So you gotta. Oh my goodness! All right. Well, let me dig up Quint here for us. I gotta cipher through and dig it up, and we'll say fins up, and we'll have Quint take us out like we always do here, guys.
Oh my God!
Look at that, 2 hands going there.
I got it. I know. I got my little makeshift thingy up here. So.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so nevermore shall we see you again. Farewell and adieu.
Good night,
to you
guys.
fair Spanish ladies. Farewell.